we're back here for round 2 of today's first look at Ravnica Allegiance Standard. I'm Todd Anderson. That's Ross Merriam. What do we have on the docket today for the second round?
I am now shifting to the
You're the
evil
bad
side.
guy.
Yes.
Good.
I am playing the old deck. This is just Golgari Midrange, Misplaced Ginger's list from the Magic Online Championship Series. Pretty typical. We all know how the list looks, so I'm just going to kick it over to you, and you get to talk about your sweet brew.
Excellent. That's exactly what I want to do. I love talking. So I'm going to be playing Esper Control today, of huge emphasis on the Azorius package as opposed to playing any large number of black cards. We've seen Esper Control early in the previous standard format. I know that John Rossum was playing it in a team open where he had a Ritual of Soot, black base removal spells. Not really a whole lot of Azorius going on. Mostly just Teferi.
Yeah, and your splash Teferi.
But now I think with access to Hallowed Fountain, we now have mana bases that are stable enough to play white. A lot of your double white cards are much easier to cast. You can play Settle the Wreckage while also splashing something like Mortify, which we will absolutely be doing today. The mana bases for these Esper decks and for any 3-color deck that can play a longer game and doesn't need to play something on turn 1, I think a lot of times you can get away with playing 10, maybe 11 shock lands as opposed to the full 12, and putting an emphasis on the buddy lands like Drowned Catacombs, Glacial Fortress, so you don't take as much damage. You're going to have a lot of openers, or not a lot, but on occasion you will have openers that have 2 of these buddy lands and no shock land, no basic, and yeah, you're going to have a couple awkward turns here and there, but I think as a control deck, it's important not to take too much damage, and you need to make sure that you build your mana base in such a way that you give yourself all the right colors, but not so much that deals you too much damage.
Yeah, and even if you have hands that have multiple of the check lands, you can sometimes lead on 1, play a basic on 2, play a tap land on 3, and still not fall too far behind. Right. So I agree. I think that's how the mana bases should generally be built. And I think if you look back at Return to Ravnica Standard, that's generally how they were built as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw Jund, I believe it played the full 12 shock lands, though, because I don't remember exactly.
It played the full, because they had Farseek too.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, so the Esper deck I'm going to be playing today, just a normal Teferi deck that we've been seeing a lot of recently. Absorb as the counter spell slot, Mortify as the cheap removal spell slot. The sideboard, I think, is going to be pretty interesting, and we'll talk about that more when we get there. I think that Tide Taker is going to be pretty good sideboard card. For the mirror matches specifically, makes it so that your opponent's counter spells are significantly worse. It makes it so that you actually have pressure in the early turns, and it's also a fine sideboard card against mono red aggro or even mono white aggro, just trading off early, getting a 1/1 that can occasionally do something else. It seems pretty darn good to me.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. We've seen control decks try to bring in some sort of cheap threat that they can play to get some initiative. And again, as I was talking about before the break, put some pressure on the opponent so you limit their tactical flexibility. Mm-hmm. So even if it doesn't go all the way, it deals 4-6 damage, but that damage makes your opponent think, and let's say, well, now I have to play a little bit more defensively, protect my life total a little bit more, and they give you a window to start gaining card advantage yourself and start burying them because of this 2/1. And because it has the effect on your opponent's counterspells, makes it great. And then, as you said, just 2 bodies against an aggressive deck. We've seen Raptor Hatchling out of Izzet decks.
Yeah.
And this is essentially does the same thing. It's not quite as good because the second half is worse. You'd rather have the second half be better, like with Hatchling, but pulls a similar job. Yeah. So, that seems like a great find for a sideboard card. I think that card's just generally good. I think the Afterlife mechanic is really powerful, and hopefully we'll see some sweet design space with that. I'd like to see some high numbers.
I would like to see like a 5 or 6 mana 1/1 that just has Afterlife 5. It's kind of like this Spectral Procession type card, but you need to sacrifice it. You got to get rid of it quick, or else it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, I'm in for that.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and get to the match. You lost last round. We're doing that today. Okay.
Todd's feeling charitable.
No, I want to go first next round.
Well, I said my hand was great in game 2 of the last round and did not win. And my hand is once again great, so hopefully we'll turn it around.
Okay, my hand's pretty good. We're on the draw here with a decent one.
I have my combo.
Yeah, that's a nice one. Your turn.
Forest, Elena Wells, the oldest combo in the book.
You're going to see here some really solid synergy with the mana base. That results, obviously. Hallowed Fountain and all of the Shocklands in these 3-color decks actually turn on your all of the check lands, the Drowned Catacombs, everything.
Yes, every Shockland turns on all your check lands when you're in a 3-color deck. Yeah, we're trying to kill this land or else.
Thinking about it. It's fine. Yeah, I'm gonna.
Okay. I will attack you for 3.
Yeah, 17.
So I could have played Wild Growth Walker last turn, but I really wanted to Jade Light to hit my 3rd land drop. But now I'm fine playing a tap land into a Walker. We'll dig for lands with our Jade Light next turn. Hopefully. Oh, it's just going to get countered. Probably screwed this up. Probably should have just played the other Jade Light. I will... attack you for 4.
Yeah, I'm not going to bluff a counterspell here. I'm just going to protect my life total. I think the longer this game goes, the better. I'm just going to mortify this. We're not taking as much damage this turn.
You're at 16?
Yeah, we can check the wild growth next turn, and the life gain doesn't particularly matter.
Okay. Play Jade Light.
Yeah, you're going to gain 6 life up to 26, and...
Graveyard that one. That's land.
So 1 counter here, 2 counters here.
And I gain 6 to 26.
Yeah.
So we have 26 to 16.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If Todd had not played that Mortify there, I think I would have actually passed the turn. I'm usually... We've seen this pattern happen a lot with the control decks. They usually have a 3-mana counterspell and then a 4-mana card advantage spell.
Mm-hmm.
And so letting them curve those 2 things into each other is a really awkward play pattern. So often you just want to pass into their 3 mana and then play your spell on when they have 4.
Yeah.
And force them to waste their mana on a turn. Mortify does change that calculus, though. I think Todd would have been very happy if I just not played a spell and he had been able to mortify a creature on end step, even if it meant he took 3 damage. I will attack you for 3.
All right, 13.
13.
Well, no, I'm just going to seal away this.
Okay.
I might as well just
16.
seal away everything all the time.
Okay, well, I will take this opportunity to land a Doom Whisperer.
Yep.
And pass the turn.
And we are not drawing in much of our card advantage. I'm just going to Teferi minus on this, and he's probably going to answer it, but we can't let it have like a free hit. But he has a million life to work with.
24.
Yep.
22. 20.
Now he's just literally digging
18.
for Vraska's Contempt or some answer to the Teferi, and he's willing to go as low as it takes.
16.
Yep.
14.
Keep going. No one cares.
12.
Yep.
There's somewhere, right?
Is your hand just that bad?
And it's not great.
Okay.
I guess I could have just dug for an untapped land. Didn't really want to do that. You have 2 in hand?
I have 2 cards, yes.
10. Okay, I'm going to stop here and just ensure that... So this is 2 and then this thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a 10.
Here we go. Carnage. That's not bad. Draw.
To save myself a whole lot of life. But
let's go Chemister's main phase so we get max value out of this mana. And we'll play this and then untap these 2.
Attack your Teferi.
Okay. Chemister's was a very good draw.
Yeah. So Todd has Chemisters up. So I know I have another good spell to play here on the next turn. So I'm just going to jam into a counter spell.
Well, we don't have it.
And what are these sealaways on?
Wild Growth, Jade Light. Yeah. You know the top card, so you can minus for a 4/3, or you can plus to gain the card. I think minus on the make a 4/3 is good.
Yeah, especially because I know the top card. So by drawing a card, I'm reducing some of the like it, draw power or the quality of the top of my deck too.
Yeah.
So it's less than a full card. I
Right.
also have a Memorial to play.
Sure. I'm gonna
Discard
pitch
land.
Watery Grave.
Okay.
Okay. Untap. Draw.
Five in hand or 4? 5?
5. Ugh.
That's a good song. That's a good sound. I like hearing that one.
Yeah. Oh, I built this deck with only 2 Settle the Wreckage in the main, and not to give it away, but I hate found it yet.
That's the groan of a man who is behind.
Okay. The question is, do we give Ross a Vivian tick up? I think the answer is yes. Let's just play this and draw. And untap these 2. Your turn. I'm at 16 still, right? Yeah,
So, despite Todd giving me some information, I'm going to try to play around a settle. I'm going to be attacking the Teferi this turn anyway, so there's no point in just throwing a Jade Light Ranger away. I don't think the 4 damage is super relevant. So let's just attack that Teferi. I'll plus Vivian.
Mm-hmm.
And
What do you guys think of Pestilent Spirit?
Oh yeah, that one just got previewed like a minute ago, and Ross and I were getting giddy over stuff like Gush Shot and Fork Bolt.
It seems real nice. Fork Ball. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, it's weird that like a black card would be very good with red cards, but it's kind of like the Black Soulfire Grandmaster, you know, giving your spells lifelink.
found a Wild Growth Walker.
Yep.
So I have to be concerned about a Wrath effect here. Cleansing Nova in particular. I'm not sure how far I want to extend into it. This is 11. I could make lethal for next turn and just slam into a settle, which clearly Todd doesn't have at this point. He would have certainly used a settle just to deal with this and protect the fairy. So I think it's good to just threaten lethal. Even if we get Wrath, we still have Vivian going. We're going to have a Memorial and another card back. So I'm going to play the Wild Growth Walker. Okay. And I'm going to play a Morphoak Branch Walker. And explore. Sorry, I looked at the top card.
It's okay. It's fine.
It's a swamp.
All right, you're at 13.
And, I get to play land and hold up Memorial. So that's cool. Pass the turn.
All right, I'll mortify the Jade Light Ranger.
Okay. That makes me feel very good for playing more creatures.
Yep.
Should I pop this Memorial to get this other Carnage Tyrant just in my hand and use my mana? That seems reasonable. Go. Plus this Vivian.
Yep.
Huh.
Miss?
Creature or land? You
Miss?
don't say.
Is it Vivian, Find, Vraska's Contempt, and a land? Oh.
This is the top 3 cards of my deck. We're
Wow.
straight juice.
Yeah.
Don't need those. Gonna continue playing conservatively here. I don't think there's any point in overextending, so let's just attack the Teferi.
All right, well, we finally drew a settle. But now we have to deal with the other Carnage Tyrant,
So I'll get a swamp, I guess. That gets exiled. Now I'll shuffle those good cards back into my deck.
Heck yeah. Vivian in a random order. I know that's just to make it better for Arena, but it's still annoying. It's really annoying for paper.
Yeah. Okay, Carney T.
Yep.
Pass the turn.
All right. Big draw. All right, draw.
I wasn't paying attention. Screwed up.
What'd you do?
You'll see.
I don't understand.
I did a little brain fart.
Okay.
Just keep going. We can't
I'm
undo it now.
thinking. Give me a second. Thinking. All right. I'm going to modify this.
Sure.
Untap or play my land. Untap these two. Your turn.
With your untap trigger on the stack, I'm gonna show you this thing I should have done last turn.
Huh.
So you have 2 lands tapped.
Why didn't you do that while I was tapped out? You let me
Because
draw.
I had my hand face down on the table. I forgot it was in my
What?
hand. Okay.
What is happening?
Yeah, I said I
This
pulled
man has won opens before.
I pulled an oopsie.
All right, so that's fine. Whatever. He's dead.
Now you get to untap some lands.
Yeah.
Good after that.
Yep.
Plus this Vivian.
Yep. Vivian is eating me up.
I think I've seen Fine Finality off of every single Vivian activation.
Nice.
That's exactly where you want it, right?
Yeah. I will attack you for 9. Brings you to 7.
I'm thinking.
Okay.
We play Chromium. Can be counter flash flying. I can discard a card. If I do, it becomes a invisible stalker until end of turn.
Okay.
I'll block. Alright. I will just let that happen because I don't want to discard a card, and I would just.
So I go to
still take
15.
7. Yep.
Now you take 7 trample plus 2, so you're at 7. Take 9.
I could have not blocked. I was thinking about going for like Vivian attacks, but he's had so many cards in hand for a while. So I was at 16, right? And I'm taking 9.
So you're at 7, and I'm at 15.
Okay, that's what I got.
Do I want to play this Branch Walker? I think if Todd has Cleansing Nova, then I just lose it. And next turn, because of Settle, I'm only attacking the Carnage Tyrant, no matter what, because Todd's at 7, without casting a spell. So I don't think there's any point in me playing another creature. So I'll just pass. I'm insulated from any edict effects, if that's a thing. 4th Teferi?
Yep.
How are you going to win if I deal with this Teferi?
I don't know. Worry about that later.
Yeah. Right now, I got to not die.
Right now, I'm trying not to die. All right. Untap these two, and your turn.
Okay, you got the Settle. Attack you.
Did. Had a bunch of counter spells in hand. Most of the game.
But you didn't cast a counterspell the entire game, so towards the end, you know, like,
Yeah.
when you're playing against control and like you put them in that position, towards the end, you just know they have counterspells. And with Absorb in particular, there, like, there's just no point in me playing spells.
Yeah. All right, we're going to take a short 3-minute break here. When we come back, we're going to do sideboarding, as well as taking some questions from Twitch chat. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. All right, we're here for sideboarding for Game 2 between Esper Control and Golgari Midrange. From my side of things, we're going to be bringing in a couple more sweepers to help out with Carnage Tyrant, also just to clear off some of the early pressure that Ross can build up via Morphle Branch Walker and Jade Light Ranger and such. Cleansing Nova, just a pretty clean answer to a lot of these cards. It gets a little wonky against Carnage Tyrant when Ross starts playing things like Fine Finality to bring them back, or using Immortal Folly to continue the Carnage Tyrant pressure. But I'm trying to not let him get to that point by just hopefully putting Teferi on the battlefield and riding it to victory. We're going to bring in another Ixalan's Binding and a Negate to help out with the Duresses and such that he's going to be playing early on, as well as Vivian Reed. And Seal Away is just the weakest removal spell of the bunch, and since we're on the play, I'm just going to cut it.
On my side, upgrading our 2-mana removal spell from Cast Down into one that actually kills things.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Upgrading our 4-mana removal spell into one that actually kills things.
Yeah, it's not bad.
And then taking out the worst creature in our deck, because life gain against control is irrelevant. Just have to jump through a lot of hoops to make this irrelevant body for the best anti-control card we have in Standard consistently.
Yeah,
maybe it's worse than Negate, I don't know. But
no, I think
80% of sideboards have either this or Negate.
that's true. But I think a lot more of them have 4 Duress than they do 4 Negate.
Yes.
One thing I want to make everyone aware of is that normally the Golgari deck side out Elvish Mist or not Elvish, Llanowar Elves in this type of matchup. Like your control opponent is going to be playing sweepers. Something like Llanowar Elves kind of gets caught in the clutter. Wild Growth Walker is worse, I think. Maybe not against Deafening Clarion, but against this Esper control deck specifically, I think that Wild Growth Walker is worse than Llanowar Elves because your whole game plan is to try to ramp into something like Vivian Reed while also keeping me off kilter, or just play an early Carnage Tyrant and hope I don't have the sweeper for it. And Wild Growth Walker, being able to get above 4 toughness, I think is important against, or of 3 toughness is important against Clarion, but I don't think it's good in this particular matchup.
All right, so we got a question from Sprayberry Dylan here.
Okay.
A few other people have asked about this card as well, but with Wilderness Reclamation, do you think that there's any reason to not play Bant Nexus or some kind of Bant control deck?
I mean, I think that card is absolutely messed up. I think that it pairs perfectly with blue, the color. It pairs perfectly with Chemister's Insight. Being able to play it, immediately untap 4 lands, and then cast Chemister's Insight is ridiculous.
Just so everybody knows, it's a 3 and a green at the beginning of your end step. Untap all lands you control.
Yeah. If your deck is mostly flash or instant speed, the card is nuts. You could build it alongside like Raph Capuchin. We were talking about that a little bit, and be more historic based. As long as you can utilize your mana at instant speed, the card's insane. I don't even understand. The more I think about it, the more I just think it might just be like the most broken card I've seen in a long time. You know, we've seen Seedborn Muse and effects like that before, but they're all attached to creatures, and those creatures usually die to spell removal. But now it's just an enchantment. Yeah. What the heck?
Well, we've seen a lot of just sort of powerful enchantments, and they're usually expensive, and they don't really do a lot the turn they enter the battlefield. Things like 1,000-Year Storm or like just weird card advantage enchantments. And this one doesn't really generate a lot of card advantage, but it generates such an absurd mana advantage over time that you should be able to leverage that into doing something way more powerful than your opponent. And the kicker is that this one doesn't actually take a full turn off to get onto the battlefield.
Yeah.
You just cast it, untap your lands on your end step, as long as you have something to do with them, which should be easy. Like, you haven't really lost any tempo, and then on turn 5, you start generating a huge advantage immediately. Just 10 mana on your end step, you can Nexus of Fate immediately, you can cast Explosion for 6.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
It's just
so, I don't know how exactly decks like that are going to be built, but like that is the kind of card that a sort of Simic-y ramp deck is going to want.
Yeah,
Does its playability depend on how playable or how much mortifies in the format?
So here's the thing. The threat is always going to be better than the answer. And when the card is good, and I think this card is disgusting. Like, the more I think about it, the more that I think it might actually just end up getting banned. Like, I'm just like building decks in my head right now, and I just feel like they can't lose. Like, if you just play this card on turn 4 and you have blue mana in your deck, how do you lose? You get to untap with Counterspell, Chemister's Insight. On the next turn, you can cast Nexus of Fate. Like, what the heck?
You can play the Instant Speed Explorer to cast this thing on turn 3.
Sure, even better. Okay, I'm just gonna go. Your turn. All right. Feel free to ask some questions while we're just developing early.
That was a good draw. We drew the second half of the combo.
Down to Buddha asked, on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel about Prime Speaker Venifer, the birthing pod on the stick?
Well, I'll let Ross answer that. He is the birthing pod aficionado. Pop.
I'm gonna go with 2.
All right, I'm at 18. A 2 out of 10 or 2 out of 5?
2 out of 10.
What?
It just doesn't do anything.
I mean, not in modern, but what if in standard it just starts churning out bigger things? Let you pull out a cool one.
We tried this with Yisan the Wandering Bard.
No, but that costs a lot of mana, I thought. It costs like
3 to activate. But
yeah, this is free.
Cast.
This is free to activate.
Yeah, but it's a 4-mana 2/4 that doesn't do anything.
Okay, it's 4-mana 2/4, but then you play a 5-mana creature on the next turn, sacrifice and go get a 6-mana creature. And there's plenty of really good 6-mana creatures in the format. You never miss it. Just saying.
It's okay.
Just saying.
You can play your Teamer Niv Mizzet deck.
Yes, I will, thank you.
Has there ever been a more Todd Anderson deck?
Don't get me started.
Pass the turn.
All right, untap.
Okay, so we've done some exploring here, just playing out the early game.
I'm at 18. I did shock earlier while the director was busy. Your turn. Yeah.
Attack you for 3.
15. What land did you reveal to me?
Forest.
No double black card
Duress
yet.
you.
Yeah, you can choose.
I'm just going to take the Chemister's Insight.
Excellent.
Go.
So he played a swamp when I know he has forest. Okay. Shouldn't have done that. Also, okay, I'm going to keep talking. What was the name of this enchantment again? The something reclamation or something? I don't know.
What Wilderness Reclamation?
Wilderness reclamation. All right. Also, I don't know if you know this, but the addendum mechanic encourages you to play things at sorcery speed, right? So there's also the 7-mana mythic one that says Time Twister, shuffle everything back, draw 7 cards. Then you get to play permanent for free. They cost 7 or less. It could be this enchantment. And then it just lets you untap all your lands. And then you just have 7, and then you time walk with the next of Fate. So there. I mean, this is what? What is happening? All right, I'm gonna draw 2 cards.
That's what's happening. You're drawing 2 cards. Now we're on your main phase.
Go. I have a binding.
Ixalan's Binding. I will attack you for 3.
Met 12. I really don't want to binding the stupid J-Light
I
Ranger.
will play a forest and pass the turn.
Yeah.
Todd Scooter wants to know if Reclamation's good with the fairy.
No, it sucks. It's not good with Teferi. It sucks. Everyone's always like, hey, Teferi, it costs 5 mana. You have to invest 5 mana to it. And it costs 3, okay? This reclamation card, it costs 4. It's free.
It costs -2.
It's free. You gain 4 mana on your end step. If you have more than 4 mana, it gains. I'm taking it. I'm at 9.
Seeker's Squire.
Yeah, man. It's all you. Swamp.
Pass.
I feel like I'm about to get Carney Boyd. Go. I really don't want to binding this J-Light Ranger. I'm going to just soak so much damage until I have to play it. Probably should have done it.
Cards in hand?
I have 4. I'll take 4 damages. Right now I'm going to 5 already. All right, I'm at 5.
Play a forest and pass.
All right, I cannot take this hit again, so I'll binding this and say go. Really want to save this for a Vivienne or I don't know, something else. Not that. I'm at 4.
I will duress you.
Well, that sucks. All right, well, I have a bunch of counter spells, but they're not good ones.
I'll take the Essence Scatter.
Yep.
And I will play a Carnage Tyrant.
That's there. That's a thing.
Can't be countered.
You're right. I have 4 cards in my deck that I can draw right now to save me. Go. You win. I quit.
It's an awkward spot there with that last duress because if Todd has the Cleansing Nova, I need to duress first. But if he has Settle on the top, I can't beat either one off the top. I guess I can beat Settle off the top if I hold the duress. But Carnage, I think Cleansing Nova in hand is more likely than Settle on top.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the.
Okay, I have some things to talk about. I do not want to play a third game. This did not feel particularly good.
Although I guess I did have Find Finality, so I should probably play more around Settle there.
Sure. No,
if you Cleansing Nova, I just buy it back. I have 8 mana, just get to replay it. So yeah, that was actually a mistake because I have Find. I should have not duressed and held to play around Settle. Okay. And then gone from there.
All right, so let's do a quick discussion here. We're going to take a few more questions, and then we're going to get ready for our third match between Esper Control and Rakdos mid-range, I guess. We're going with that.
So,
all right, so here's the thing. Mortify. Spot removal in general. Not particularly good against creatures that all say draw a card or draw half a card. Yeah. The explore mechanic really punishes you for trying to interact with your opponent on a 1-for-1 basis. When I was playing the Jeskai control versions, similarly built to this, I had a huge emphasis on expansion explosion. I played 4 of them because I was okay trading 1-for-1 with things like Lava Coil, Justice Strike, Seal Away, and then I would have that 1 turn of reprieve where multiple times in this match I had 8+ mana untapped doing nothing. And if I just had, I don't know, explosion for 4, kill a thing, draw 4 cards, that would have pushed me really far ahead, helped me dig towards Settle the Wreckage, Cleansing Nova, things like that to help bring me back into the game. And this particular deck, this version of this deck, doesn't have that giant burst of card advantage. We don't have Niv Mizzet to recoup stuff. We don't have any sort of treasure maps. We have Sorcerer's Canto, we didn't ever draw it. But I think that's kind of just the downside of playing.
And that's still not a surge of card advantage. That's
Right.
like set up for a little while, then generate 1 a turn. It's a lot of mana invested to utilize that card, whereas Explosion is the 1 turn. Niv Mizzet just snowballs very easily by just casting your spells. So
Yep. I think that this is basically Carnage Tyrant 101. Carnage Tyrant is supposed to do this to control decks. I think the Jeskai decks broke that mold a little bit by just having Expansion Explosion be these giant bursts of cards and could really find the answers you need. Even if you only played 3 or 4, you could find them quite easily by just playing these big expansions. Like the Teferi plus, do an expansion with the mana. But I don't even care anymore. I just want to talk about this this Reclamation card, man.
Well,
It's on my brain.
I guess we know what Tuesday's show is going to be about.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
we got a 10-minute break here. You can think more about Wilderness Reclamation
Yes.
and go on about it. But what we're going to do for the last match is play the 2 new decks against each other.
Yes.
Todd's going to play his Esper control deck. I'll get the Rakdos midrange deck that I played in match 1, and we'll see all the new cards played in one match. So come back in 10 minutes and check us out then.